On tonight's episode, we are talking about Jeffrey Wright, Wolves, and a hot spring. That's right, we're talking about Hold the Dark. I'm Jeremy Miller.
Michael Harness.
Kevin Mallon.
And this is Flix and Six. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. As we said up top, we are talking about Hold the Dark tonight, and I am thrilled to welcome our dearest friend Kevin Mallon into the studio. Welcome, Kev.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited.
Kevin is pumped for a lot of reasons, and we're going to get into those reasons. But first, we are going to sum up very quickly whether we like this movie or not and a little bit of why. And we're going to do that spoiler-free so that if you guys only got a couple of minutes and you're on the fence about Hold the Dark, hopefully we can influence an educated decision, if you will.
There you go.
Okay, so who wants to go first? Mike, you want to start?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well, how about I'll start. Let's throw it off a little weird, okay?
Good.
Okay, I'm gonna start a minute for myself. Here we go. Okay, so my grade for this movie, I'm gonna give it a strong B+. Actually, no, dude, I'm gonna give it an A-. A- for Hold the Dark from me. A lot of people, a lot of the critics, a lot of the IMDb Metascore and all this shit say that they didn't like the movie because it didn't have an ending, because it was confusing, because too much was going on. I disagree with all of those things. Hang around to find out why. But overall, I loved the movie. I thought Jeffrey Wright was incredible. I thought Alexander Skarsgård is the fucking man. I thought the story was sweet. The score was awesome. The cinematography was beautiful. And the fucking story was so insane. Mm-hmm. I was hooked the entire time. To me, it felt like No Country for Old Men crossed with, what's that fucking movie? Oh, God. I can see the cover, but now I can't remember. And it doesn't matter because my time's almost up. But it's that kind of a slow burn, as Max would say, but with a major good payoff.
Jesus criminy.
And that's my minute. A- for me. Okay. Kevin, you want to go next?
Sure. I'll give it a shot.
You know what you're going to say?
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to scoot this close to you so that everyone can hear what you're saying. I'm going to get a minute on the clock. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Kevin.
So I'm right there with Jeremy with this movie. A-, close to being an A. It's really good cinematography. The acting is tremendous. It leaves a lot open to interpretation. So if you're a person that likes movies, that will, form your own opinions about things, this is an excellent movie. The wildlife, the wilderness, everything is shot tremendously. If you give it a shot, I think you'll really like it as well. There's a lot to be determined, and I'm still kind of up in the air on exactly what I think the movie is meant to believe, but I think I have an idea after watching it a few times, but I'm pretty excited to talk about it, and hope you guys check it out.
With 10 seconds to spare.
That's nice.
Kevin, you're a
There
natural,
you go.
dude.
Right.
Way to go, baby. That was awesome.
All right.
All right, Mike, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes in 3, 2, 1. Michael.
Originally, I kind of want to give it a B+, but I'm getting to why it might be better. The dialogue for me just kind of fell a little flat. I didn't really enjoy a lot of the, one-on-one scenes a lot of the characters had. That was kind of like a big thing for me, but the shots were sick. It was a very good storyline. I thought it was obviously very well written to be made into this movie. Good plot. I get it. I got the whole thing, so I don't understand why critics were coming after it, being like it was kind of confusing and there was no ending. There was an ending. Mm-hmm. Like, it was very visible. It wasn't that hard to catch up on. Great action scenes. That was sick. I was not expecting that walking into it. I was like, the whole time, like, everyone kept getting murdered. This was a Netflix original, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then my grade changes to an A- because I think for a Netflix original, that is very well done.
Awesome. Look at that, Mike.
Boom.
3 seconds to spare.
Boom.
God, I'm always the one that's going over. It's because I fucking ramble.
It's okay.
Whatever. We're doing great. So that, if all you guys have is a couple of minutes as we try to maintain the Flix and Six brand, So what do we got? A- around the board here?
Yeah, mine changed.
Yep.
A- around the horn. So this is definitely a recommend.
Oh, yeah.
Go watch this movie. It's fucking awesome. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell, like Michael said, so that you get notifications every time we drop an episode so that you're not spending hours on the couch trying to figure out what to watch. Don't do that. We got you. Right?
Yeah.
So that's our initial take. Hang around. We're going to keep riffing on this movie, and we'll dig into the ending and what the fuck it means.
There you go.
Coming right up. So let's dive into this movie and what we think about it. So I think one of the glaring... the first 10 minutes of this movie, I'm fucking hooked because of the score. The music, right? It felt like Sicario. You know,
Yeah,
that
kinda.
haunting, fucking just so loud and scary. I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm into this. Now, this is the second time I've seen this movie. You're first. How many times have you seen it, Kev?
2 1/5, I would say. I just
2
watched the end
1/5?
for the third time. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, now, there's a little backstory between you and this movie.
there is.
And that's why we got you on this episode.
And here I am.
Share it with the kids at home, Kev.
Sure. So I'm not such a movie buff as my friends Michael and Jeremy are, but I grew up with the gentleman that directed and also wrote this movie, and they went to high school with me and played soccer when we were little a little bit. But Jeremy Saulnier, he did The Green Room, he did Blue Ruin, Macon Blair wrote those movies as well. This movie, the Hold the Dark movie, is from a book which Macon wrote the screenplay for. So I have a very strong liking to stuff that they've put their hands on and messed around with, but to see them come so far to get something as a Netflix original, it makes me happy for them and for their families, and it's a pretty big deal, especially for somebody that grew up in the same area that I did. But I'm very impressed with the directing that Jeremy does, specifically just the way he lays movies out. For him to be able to get actors like Jeffrey Wright and Skarsgård and those people in a movie it's a great thing to see. So I'm happy to be here with you guys and interested to hear what Michael says about the movie and what it means, because I've got two different ideas of what I think it means. I have not read the book. I don't think you guys have read the book either. You may be able to figure out exactly what it means by reading the book, but I like to think whatever the hell I want to think about a movie.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
exactly.
going to think this time. So
Well, it's good to have you, Kev.
for
Cheers
having
to
me.
you,
Cheers,
buddy.
hey.
Yep.
When you say... I don't have any more drink.
You got a vape.
When you say what the film means, what do you mean? Like
The end.
just the ending part, like where it went, or
Spoiler
like
alert.
Yeah.
Are these two characters, are they representing, some sort of mystical wolf character themselves? What is the meaning of the mask? Because they usually put the masks on when there's about to be a violent act, right? And why is it that he doesn't kill his quote unquote wife or partner at the end of the movie? I guess those are the questions that I have mostly.
Before we jump in, hold that, whatever is in your beautiful brain. Yep, good move. Just to bring you guys up to speed, I'm going to sum this up real quick. Okay, so we're talking about, Medora Sloan, right? She calls Jeffrey Wright's character Mr. Core because her son was allegedly taken by the wolves in Alaska, right? And so he's like a wolf expert, kind of like a Liam Neeson in The Gray type of situation. And so she's like, yo, dude, my husband's off at war. My kid got taken by the wolves. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Can you come help me out? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? So he goes out there, and then all of a sudden, he goes out, he sees the wolves, he comes back. She's gone after some weird shit that we'll talk about. And there's a door there unlocked. He goes down there. Boom, there's the kid, dude, strangled to death, right? So then it's like, what the fuck? Skarsgård is off at war, her husband. He comes back, kid's dead. Cops are like, dude, we're going to find your wife, killed the kid. We're going to get her, And then him and his Indian buddy, Cheon, they fucking kill everybody, right? And then they're hunting the wife. Meanwhile, Mr. Core is kind of like also playing detective, kind of on the sidelines. And then, boom, the finale. Okay, so that's kind of the plot summed up. Michael,
He
your
was
thoughts?
strangled?
The boy was strangled, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was just sick and died.
No, she killed him.
Oh,
She killed him.
Yeah. She killed him dead, dude.
that changes things.
Her own
It
son.
does. Her own son.
Yeah.
When did we find out he was strangled?
So basically, when the cops come, oh no, the Indians come first. I'm sorry, Native Americans. Oh, they come, and they're talking about it, and then the cops come, and they said, like in their when they're initially talking, that there were strangle marks on his
I didn't
neck.
catch that.
It was very quick.
Okay.
And then when they pull the sheet off him at the morgue, you know, you can kind of see he's roughed up right here, but
didn't
you gotta
notice.
really, I had to look for it.
Yes. What's with this family and choking?
Well, that's interesting, isn't it, Michael?
She wanted the what's the gay core Russell?
Mr. Core, yeah,
Mr.
Russell
Core?
Core.
She like wanted him to choke him.
Jeffrey Wright. Oh, yeah.
Wanted him to choke her, and then
Yeah.
like obviously she strangled her kid, and then at the end he was like getting all up in there. I was like, wait, I literally said out loud, she likes that shit.
Yeah,
like
she
you're not
loves
gonna
it.
kill her. And I knew it minutes before. I was like, he's not gonna kill her.
Oh, no.
There's no way.
He's pumped about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're a pack.
So,
When he removes his mask at the end, that's when he stops actually killing her. When she removes his mask at the end. So
Right.
to me, that mask signifies something, whether it be dehumanization,
yeah.
or whatever the word might be. They're trying to
Yeah, 'cause
cover
he was crying.
cover something up, and I think
Yeah.
it's from their upbringing. There's a,
okay, I got some shit.
Well, I haven't even said my original comment yet.
Get it out there, Michael. I'm so
Because
sorry.
It's fine. I wrote notes. At the beginning of the film, when she's showing Dr. Mr. Core around, like where all the kids were abducted and stuff, he said something, and her response was something along the lines of like, "It happened to me," or "That was me," or something like that. Which it was very quick, and I hated the way she fucking talked. It was so like, I hated it.
Oh, I know what you're talking
It
about.
was very quick.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. So she was talking about how other kids had been taken by wolves, right? And that they basically on their way to school, because they had to walk to school,
Right.
And she's pointing to that ridge, right? And so a kid got taken, and then men with guns would escort them to school, but so that the wolves wouldn't come, right? But that with her kid, she said it didn't happen to me. Basically that the wolves would come and take the kid. So then they like armed everybody up, and then it never happened again. But it happened to her because it took her kid.
Oh, I read that
wolves.
completely wrong.
Yeah.
in that same scenario where she's showing Jeffrey Wright around the woods in the snow, he asks her, "How did you meet Skarsgård?" Which would be Vernon in this scenario.
Yeah.
Or when did you meet him? Did you meet him, on the reservation? And she says, "I don't have a memory without him."
Right, because they grew up together.
She said
They grew up together.
I didn't meet him anywhere. I knew him my whole life.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I knew that.
So
To me, that's a little weird. And then
Kevin-
if you tie in the old blonde lady at the very end that
Yeah, yeah.
looks a lot like, could be
Her.
a mother
Yeah.
of that woman
Yeah.
who's saving the wolf man.
yeah. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's just, because we're going to
God.
dissect this thing to pieces. But I think what we're all chomping at the bit to talk about is the ending and what it means. Correct?
Yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think it means because I'm still having a hard time.
Honestly, I'm even more confused now, but let's do it.
Okay. I got a hunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
They're brother and sister.
Yeah, I've been thinking that.
Yeah, so they're brother and sister, okay? And that's how they knew each other their whole lives. Now, Jeffrey Wright's character, Mr. Core, he goes into it in the beginning with the cop. Can't remember his name. Doesn't matter. But with like the lead detective, kind of the sheriff of the town or whatever.
He was nice.
He's telling him, that wolves will sometimes kill their young in order to survive as a pack, right? And the cop looks at him and says, "Yeah, but we're dealing with people, not animals." And Jeffrey Wright says, "If you say so," right? And so they're incestual. They have this kid. They've had another kid, right? This is their second kid.
Where did the second kid come from?
The second kid was already dead. Yeah. And so basically, she kills this kid because she knows the kid can't be there, right? And she keeps talking about the blackness outside, the darkness. And the darkness, to me, symbolizes the fact that their brother and sister, they're fucking, and they had this kid, right? And so to protect the pack, which is her and Vernon, she kills the kid and she splits, right? Knowing that Vernon is going to come back, handle the scandal, right? And then the hot springs, that's like where they do all their fucking, and it's a good place to get clean. That's what she tells Jeffrey Wright, right? And so the mask symbolizes like the wolf mentality of survival as a pack, right? And that's why in the end, like he's got her up, right? That's why, and then she lifts the mask and then he's like, all right, let's just bang it out. It's cool, That's why when Jeffrey Wright is having his first sleepover with her and she comes out with her boobies out, but the mask is on and she's acting all fucking weird, and he's like, what? That's when he catches on to her darkness. That's why he's consistently telling the cops, like, yo, there's something up with these two, right? And then when Vernon is like on her scent, tracking her through, and then he ends up at like the old healer, that guy, right? That like gives him soup.
Indian hunter.
Yeah, the Indian hunter, right? He says, I remember you, boy.
His dad had brought him there.
Yeah. Your dad brought you here when you were a little tyke. He was trying to get some fucking thing to wash the darkness out of you. So at a young age, these two kids were like fucking probably making out, maybe like doing some some like round and first base type of shit. And the dad's like, dude, what the hell are you doing, boy? So he brings him to the old Indian hunter, right? And the woman at the end is the mom, right? And she knows those are Vernon's boots. And she looks at the boots and she's like, I know whose these are, boy, and she brings them outside to preserve, knowing that Vernon will get his boots back, sort of a thing. That's my theory.
First time I watched it, I didn't think that, but the second time I started to believe that
I definitely thought about it throughout, but the only thing I really disagree with is the end of what you just said. The boots thing.
That it's his mom, that it's
the boots.
Their mom?
No. The mom, yes. The boots, no.
Why?
I think she took the boots and had the wolves smell it and track them down. Oh, God, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, you're probably right.
That's my theory.
And I was definitely thinking incest a lot of it because they were just too fucked up individuals to not be having sex with each other and not be related.
Yeah, and like the Indian hunter also said, you've got the same eyes as her.
I know, I caught that. That's when I was, that was like my third big clue. I was like, okay. Like, you don't have the same eyes unless you're related.
Yeah, and if you're related, that means you're banging, dude. Yeah. Just like out in Alaska in the wilderness, just like banging your brother, dude.
And it was about to be the solstice, and it was about to be like the darkest time of the year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
So you've got that idea with the incestuous relationship, but then you also have the wolf mentality where they sometimes kill their own to protect them. Sometimes will kill people in their pack. For example, Skarsgård, when he's overseas, he catches the army man raping the Iraqi woman.
Yeah.
Right? Very quickly kills the shit out of that kid.
Oh, dude.
Murders the shit out of him.
But he doesn't murder him, though. He fucking pretty much like gimps him.
Yeah, gets him
and
down
then gives her the fucking knife.
Yep.
And at that point, you're like, dude, Vernon's fucking all right, man. That's a good-ass dude.
Absolutely.
Why do you think he did that, though?
I don't know. I mean, I think that he has no problem. He killed the soothsayer up there. He has no problem just killing anybody. He killed the cops that were going to go and help him find the person that murdered his child.
Yeah.
Well, he killed them because he knew that if they caught her, they would put her in jail.
Yeah, they couldn't be together.
Right? And then they couldn't be together.
Yeah.
Right? So he fucking wiped all them out because he recognized immediately why she killed the boy. And so he's like, I can't let them fucking get on the hunt because they'll get her. And the cops are like passing around the flask, And I'm like, dude, Alaska. You know what I mean? They're just like fucking cops drinking all night, But they're like passing the flask, and he's like, "Don't worry, Vern. We're gonna catch her. We're gonna try her, and then she'll get the needle, you know." And Vern's like, "Oh yeah, no, that sounds fucking good. Hey, Cheon, where's that gun?" And Cheon's like, "Bro, I already fucking know."
Cheon lit those people up, didn't he?
Dude,
God.
Oh man, so Cheon fucking hands him that piece, bam, 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 and that leads us to the action.
That's one of the best shooting scenes I've seen. I'm really impressed by the way they filmed that and just the whole devastation that took place.
Yeah, dude, like that first scene at the police station was fucking awesome because you do not see that shit coming. Like he hands him a gun and you're like, huh, right? And then just bam, and then the kid looks at him, he's like, no, don't, and it goes bam, right? And a fucking
visuals.
piece flies off his face. Ooh, shit.
I like the one in the next scene with the Native American guy.
With the machine gun.
Yeah, with the machine gun.
Yeah, that's more what I was referring to.
No, yeah, that was a
scene.
16, but there was the one where the guy is like turning around to like run and he hits him through the back of the head and his whole like front of his face just, flies off.
dude.
I'm like, oh my fuck. Like that was crazy.
It's brutal.
That was a lot.
It's a lot.
But I wanted that other kid to live though behind the rock, but he was just dumb.
No, yeah, that kid, you knew right out of the gate.
Yeah, I was like,
he ain't gonna make it, man.
The one thing that was a little annoying about that is the police. They were supposed to be police. They didn't act very quickly to stop. The guy was standing on top of a
it ended up being Mr. Core being like, hey, look. No, hey, like super slow, like, and no, everyone was like, what?
I mean, he's in the wide open. They could have shot him.
Yeah,
you know,
the doors
with a
flung
little bit of
open.
effort.
Every normal cop in the world would be like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I like that it went down the way it did because, you know, when the chief cop, fuck, I should have got his name. When he's talking to the other guy, right? Like he goes up and he tries to reason with Cheon, right? But Cheon's like, bro, fuck you. Right? Like my kid went missing. Y'all didn't do shit. Right? And so Cheon, right, and this cop are talking and he's like, dude, like don't do this shit, man. Cause he knows that squad he's got behind him, they can't hang.
No.
They can't hang, dude. And he tells him, like most of those kids, they're green, dude. They never seen action a day in their life. And that's why I liked that because then he turns around, he starts walking, and you see the doors fly open, and you're like, oh, y'all are fucked, right? Yeah. And then it's like, because they're like, yeah, we'll wait for the tactical unit to get here because we don't know what the fuck we're doing, right? And so I like that it played out like that because it was very like, it really showed you just how like remote these guys are. They don't see this kind of shit out there. They're fucking way out in the wilderness.
Cheon's loyalty to Vern was pretty impressive too.
I loved it.
It was pretty strong.
I love that, dude.
It was very, very blood runs deep moment.
Yes.
Like helped him bury his kid and like sliced his arm open and shit and put like I would assume a Native American like symbol for something like during a burial on it. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude, they're boys.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Like, I love when Skarsgård gets off the plane, right? They don't even say what's up. They're not like, hey, what's up? How was your flight? You know, it's like, hey, here's your fucking buck knife, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because, like, I don't want you to be unarmed. And I can't give you a gun in the middle of an airport, even in Alaska.
An airport the size of this room.
Yeah, with planes that are worse than any
size
of our
of this
cars.
chair.
Yeah.
Or the table.
Yeah. So,
Something I kept thinking about is maybe the female Medora. Did she miss her husband or twin brother or brother so much that she killed her child because that would be the only way to get him back from the war? Now, little did she know,
He was already
that same time he got shot in the neck.
Oh,
Was she going to call him though?
I mean, I don't know if they had. It didn't sound like they had any communication.
She said,
like I haven't alerted or something like that.
she said that she told the men, but she wasn't there when they told him. So he knew, but she didn't. She wasn't the one to tell him. But that's a really good fucking point.
Yeah, she couldn't live without him because she had spent her whole life with him since
Banging
childhood.
in the hot spring.
There you go.
Oh God, if they were twins, that just makes it worse.
I mean, yeah, I don't like to think of that, but that's probably.
So that's our initial take on Hold the Dark. Now, for more on this episode, because we're going to keep fucking going for a long time, right? But that's where you're going to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, all your favorite podcast platforms. That's where we're going to be finishing up this conversation. A- all around. Hard recommend all around. Kevin knows these guys. Kevin's in the studio. He did a great job. Give it up for Kevin.
Check it out.
Check it out, all right, y'all? And subscribe to the channel, and catch us next week. We got some more fresh episodes coming to you.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see you then. I'm Jeremy Miller.
Michael Harness.
Kevin Mallon.
We'll see you guys next time.